In the world of sales and business, we always say that people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. But how do you build trust? I do a lot of work in the technology sector in particular, and all the time we talk about building this trusted advisor status, how that's the utopia of selling when your customer trusts you so much that it's you they come to every time, eliminating all your competition and making it so much easier to sell. But how do you build trust? Well, that's what I'd like to talk about in this week's 4-Minute Friday. Hey there, welcome to 4-Minute Friday with me, Brian Conway from 𝗕𝗃𝗲𝗂𝗀𝑠𝑢𝑐𝑐𝑒𝑠S.co.uk. And as I always say, if you're a newbie and it's the first time perhaps coming to this channel or wherever you're watching this video, first of all, welcome. And just so you know, this is where I take a few minutes on a Friday to share with you tips, strategy or tactic that'll help you make more sales. Now this week I want to talk about trust. Trust is a key part of selling. Having that trusted relationship with your prospective customer is so important to helping you get the deal over the line. But let's just think about trust for a moment. And if we think about it, quite often, if this is the point where we make the sale, let's say, the only time we can really perhaps develop trust is by actually delivering on the promise. So if the customer realizes the returns that they made on their investment, it delivered the business value, it helped them eliminate risk, whatever, reduce cost, whatever it might be, you've been able to demonstrate that you delivered on the promise, and therefore you've proven that you are trustworthy and your solution could be trusted. But that's if they've already bought. So the question then becomes, so how, from this point of them being just a prospect, how do we develop trust up to that point of sale? Well, typically that comes through the way that we sell, not what we sell, but the way that we sell. So if you carry out a good diagnosis, you really spend the time, linger longer, phrase I always use, but if you spend the time to do that discovery, to do that diagnosis on what your customers' needs are, then more often than not, they will trust that whatever you prescribe, the thing that you sell, will deliver that outcome. Same as if you go to a doctor, if they asked you no questions about what was wrong with you, but just give you a prescription, you wouldn't trust that that was a good solution to your needs, that it would potentially help you eliminate the ailment or whatever you were suffering. You would expect them to do that diagnosis, to understand more about what you're experiencing so they could prescribe the most appropriate solution. Then you would significantly have much greater trust in what they've prescribed. So the way you sell can help to build that and develop that trust. Question then comes back to this. Okay, so what about this point here where they have just become a lead? How do you develop trust up to that point where you actually get the meeting with them in the first place, that they trust it's worth meeting with you? Well, I think there are kind of 3 ways that you can do that. I call it the Trinity of trust, and I'll give you a quick overview of what that looks like. So there's 3 elements to it. So the first element, email. Okay, just get them on an email list. You can use automated software to do this. It's not that hard. And just pre-write a series of, I suggest 30 emails. I'm like, oh my word, that's going to take me a while. It may be, but it's done once and you can set it and forget it. And a lot of these email platforms today will then drip feed out that information. You could send 1 email every 2 or 3 days and you've got 60 to 90 days worth of content that's putting you regularly back in front of your audience. And what you need to do is just provide value, basically. That could be content. It could be things like industry insights, stuff that you see going on in the industry. It could be answering maybe some of their FAQs. Okay, so you could probably write 10 emails just around the most common questions that you get asked, or maybe SAQs. Should ask questions. You could have another 10 questions there about what people should be asking if they were looking to buy your type of solution. Well, there's 20 emails already, and they probably already exist in emails that you've sent to people at some point when they've individually asked you a particular question. So creating some content is not that hard, and what that does is it's it's really kind of going to educate your prospective customer on how to buy what you offer, and then you can build in your differentiators and everything, and as part of that process they then get to trust that perhaps you've got the right solution for their needs. So that's one thing. The second element to my trinity of trust is to set up a group. Okay, so this could be on LinkedIn, it could be on or Facebook, typically are the two platforms. You may feel that LinkedIn's more professional perhaps for your business, and that's fine, but I will tell you that Facebook groups are a lot more active. And the beauty of this is you get in a collective of like-minded people, and people like to be part of a community, a group where they can maybe share their ideas, and that's one of the things that will happen. People start asking questions within the group, and that gives you the opportunity to build that trust and credibility through answering those questions. So that's something else that I often recommend. And the third part of the trinity of trust is to actually create some kind of webinar. Right? A webinar, and of course then you can have an email up in your email list that actually promotes the webinar. But a webinar is a great way again of educating, taking the time to help people understand what it is that you sell, more importantly, what it will do for them. And that webinar, it could be a demo, it could be part of there where you're actually demoing software or capabilities or whatever that you have. But the beauty of this is that a lot of it can be automated. So you don't have to keep doing it. Now you may choose to do it live, maybe once a month, or perhaps you just do a live webinar. But you get it in your diary and you invite all these people and you tell the group, and maybe you post the webinar in the group and things like that. So all the three of things kind of combine to really build your brand, build your awareness, and build that trust so that people get to know you, like you, and trust you, which are the kind of three elements of selling, especially kind of people to people, business. But they get to know you. And as I said, this can be fully automated. So you could do it live, or you can automate it. And all you have to do quite often is the webinar runs as if it's live, so people register for it on a particular date and time. And then all you often need to do is just monitor the chat, so you can answer any specific questions that come up. So it's kind of semi-live, I guess, not maybe fully automated, but you're not having to kind of put all the time into presenting the presentation. So there are three things that you could do to build out the Trinity of Trust. And these are the Trinity of Trust is one element of my top-line transformation program that you may have heard me talking about previously. And if you want to know more about that, or get in a call about anything I've just discussed here, or any part of your sales kind of activities, and you'd like to kind of just bounce some ideas off me or get some insights, then please do just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help. So there you go. That's the end of today's 4-Minute Friday. And as always, it's more than 4 minutes. So hey, what can I do? But I want to give you some value in helping you, providing some content to you, I guess, helping you think about the way you build trust with your customers, both before the sales process kind of even starts, during the sales process as part of your diagnosis, and then obviously, hopefully through the delivery of the product or service that you provide, you will demonstrate that trust was worth taking with you because you deliver the outcome that people want. That's it for today. Thank you for your time. Have a great weekend, and next week have a great week of selling, and think about how do you build trust not only during the sales process but even before you ever engage with an individual, and the Trinity of Trust will help you do that. Take care. I'm Brian Conway. Bye-bye.